Got it. Looks like someone recently had a key appraised.
Over here, Miss Drew. Find the toy mouse and give it to Yuri, would you please? Otherwise, he'll just keep meowing. He hates strangers. How nice of you to drop by, and thank you for walking instead of parking in the driveway. I'm expecting a pupil. I'd hate for her to have to park on the road.
Mr. Topham?
Richard Topham at your service.
Did someone tell you I was coming?
If one is to teach others how to develop and use their paranormal gifts, it's only logical that one must possess such gifts oneself.
Does that mean you can read minds or tell the future, or what exactly?
The paranormal includes telepathy or communicating by sending and receiving thoughts, extrasensory perception or perceiving that which cannot physically be seen or heard, and psychokinesis, using one's psychic energy to reshape or move objects.
Jeepers, you can do all that?
Yes. Well, on occasion. As I tell my students, increasing one's rate of success is simply a matter of practice.
Does everyone have paranormal powers?
To some degree, yes. The goal of the Topham School for the Study and Development of Paranormal Powers is to enable students to make the most of whatever gifts they have. I take them through exercises designed to help them increase their output of phantasmic energy. If you want to sign up for an introductory session, I believe I have an opening today.
What I'd really like to do is talk about Josiah Crowley.
Oh, I'm afraid I'm busy, young lady, far too busy to engage in idle conversation.
When would be a good time for me to come back?
I'll be blunt, Miss Drew. I've discovered that the more time I spend with the, shall we say, intellectually unendowed, the more my cerebral pulsations seem to diminish. I'm afraid I cannot speak to you further unless and until you prove that you are worthy. That is, that your brainwaves are not unacceptably inferior and thus deleterious to mine.
My brainwaves are just fine, Mr. Topham.
What I have here is an exercise in logic. If you can discern the correct solution, then I'll know that conversing with you will do me no psychic harm. You may take it with you. Good luck and good day.
That looks right. Am I smart or what? I'm getting there. That looks right. Am I smart or what?
Hello, Miss Drew.
Hello, Mr. Topham.
Am I to assume that you have the correct solution to that logic problem?
Right here.
Let's have a look. Why, you appear to have indeed found the solution. Well, since you've proved yourself to be intellectually above average, which means talking to you should do me no harm, what would you like to talk about?
When and how did you meet Josiah Crowley?
Last summer, while on my way to the university for a conference, I stopped for a bite at the Lilac Inn. Since it was crowded and I was in a hurry, I agreed to share a table with an elderly gentleman who, like me, was by himself. As soon as I told Mr. Crowley who I was and what I did, well, he insisted that I give him a training session that very afternoon, and was so thrilled with his progress that he demanded I stay and teach him everything I knew.
So it was his idea that you set up your school in his house?
Oh, I know rumor has it that I somehow tricked him into it, that I insinuated my way into his home, but I assure you that was not the case.
Were you surprised when you found out that Josiah had left you everything?
Delighted? Yes. Surprised? Not really. Josiah was all alone, you see, surrounded by people like the Crandalls and that banker, Jim Archer, people who were nice to him only because they knew he had money.
What do you think happened to the key to Josiah's safe deposit box?
Josiah no doubt lost it. He had a terrible memory, poor fellow.
Are you still looking for the key?
What's the point? No doubt it's filled with the same thing as this house. Junk. But if it's junk, why haven't I gotten rid of it, you may well ask. Well, I know it's silly to hang on to Josiah's things, but he was a wonderful man, you see, and I just don't have the heart to get rid of them. Too sentimental for my own good, I guess.
Did you hear about the explosion and fire at the Lilac Inn this morning?
I heard the explosion and fire. Ruined my 9 o'clock session.
So you were with a customer when it happened?
Pupil. I was with a pupil. I run a school, not a vegetable stand, and yes, I was. Until I dismissed her 20 minutes early. All the ruckus made concentration impossible.
Do you eat at the inn very often?
Not anymore. You see, the fact that Josiah left everything to me made some people around here, including Emily and now this Jane Willoughby, very bitter. It hurts me, of course, but it's human nature, I suppose.
Would it be okay if I looked around?
Go right ahead. The place is more like a museum than a house. Josiah was a man of many, many interests. I'll be right here if you have any questions. As you'll soon realize, Josiah's mental faculties were starting to go, I'm afraid. He tended to ramble. Very little of what he wrote in there makes sense.
What are you when you win barred bounce? What poet is the cat's meow? What will Para, my miniature golf course, get you? What's Gloria's middle name? Becoder is in the rivet. 2 to the right. What do you do with these?
I put them on the windshields of cars parked in the area. Great advertising.
Ever put them on cars at the Lilac Inn?
All the time. I've gotten quite a few pupils that way. I'm afraid that fire today was as unfortunate for me as it was for Miss Crandall.
The man on stage in this picture, is that Josiah?
Yes, that's from a production of A Midsummer Night's Dream that he directed and starred in. It closed after 2 nights, but he didn't care. He loved that play.
Was this Josiah's clock?
Everything in here was Josiah's.
Wonder what this mirror is doing in here.
Now what?
Have you ever played Bard Bounce?
The game that's in the parlor of the Lilac Inn? Never. Such frivolities are an inexcusable waste of cerebral energy.
Would you happen to know what Gloria Crandall's middle name was?
I haven't the foggiest.
It was nice talking to you.
I knew you were going to say that. A little psychic humor.
Oh, a miniature golf course. Swell. Interesting. I hit it too hard. I hit it too hard. I did it!
What's cooking?
Have you met Richard Topham?
Yeah, I've had the displeasure of meeting that quack.
Somehow he knew who I was before he even saw me.
He came over while they were putting out the fire today. Asked me who you were, and I was so frazzled at the time I told him. I don't usually give that crackpot the time of day.
Does everybody around here feel that way about him?
Not everybody. Like that circus fella said, there's a sucker born every minute. Me? I think ESP is a lot of J-U-N-K.
Does the miniature golf course that's out back belong to the inn?
No, that was Josiah Crowley's. Way I hear, he built it himself.
Was it open to the public?
Nope, it was just his own private little course. Can you imagine? Wish I had money to throw around like that.
What was Emily's mom's middle name? Do you remember?
Course I do. It was... Oh, piffle. It's right on the tip of my tongue. It was... It'll pop into this feeble brain of mine one of these days. Why don't you just go ask Emily?
Well, I'll talk to you later.
Alrighty-dighty.
Hi, Nancy.
What was your mother's middle name?
Lois. Why?
Oh, just curious. I'll be back in a little bit.
You're the best.
Why does this picture keep moving?